Isaac Newton by Raina,
Francesca,
and Kayla.
Sir Isaac Newton was born on January 4th, 1643 in Walsham, England. He was a premature baby and extremely tiny. The doctors did not expect him to survive, as it was said that he could fit in a quarter mug. That part may have been exaggerated, as we do not have any pictures from that time. He was the only son of a local farmer, who was also named Isaac Newton. However, he was not around for young Isaac's childhood, as he died 3 months before his son was born. Isaac's mother left after remarrying. The stepfather did not want a stepson, so she decided to leave Isaac with his grandmother for most of his early life. The stepfather died 9 years later, allowing Isaac to reunite with his mother, at last at the age of 12. His mother had given birth to 3 other children during that time, and decided to take them along as well. Isaac was enrolled in King's School in Grantham at about the same time, and was introduced to chemistry and other subjects there, which he would soon do great things. Even though he was one of the greatest minds of his time, he was not exactly a strong student at first. He was later transformed, bringing him to the top after being bullied by another student whom he tried to beat by applying himself more and getting smarter. He later went to Cambridge University for college. At an older age, he returned to Cambridge to teach, and interestingly enough, he would sometimes have lectures that at times no one would attend to. So the first picture is Isaac on a post stamp. So then below it is Isaac Newton's house. So then right next to the post stamp is Isaac Newton in his earlier life. Then down below that is his signature. And then right to the side of that is his parents.
Newton greatly contributed to science with his many ideas and inventions. He developed theories on light, calculus, celestial mechanics, and more while only a student at Cambridge, which I found very amazing, as that is a really young age. One of his more famous discoveries was of the universal law of gravity. Legend has it that Newton was one day sitting under an apple tree in a garden near Woolsthorpe Manor, which was his childhood home. It was there where an apple supposedly fell on his head, making him think of why the apple had fallen. So forth his theory of gravity. It is not proven that this is the true story, but based off of Newton's diary, this idea did start with the falling of an apple. Another discovery he had made was on white light. Newton used a glass prism to refract the light, which resolved into the main colors red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet, which are famously known as the colors of the rainbow, which on the very first slide you could see a picture of Newton with that glass prism. He discovered white light was actually combinations of all colors on a spectrum, therefore the rainbow. Another light discovery of his was that light was composed of particles instead of waves. With his work on light, he created the Newtonian telescope, a reflecting telescope that uses a primary mirror and flat diagonal secondary mirror. He also established the 3 laws of motion and invented calculus. Newton was believed to be very quiet and private, which leads to the concept that he might have had many more theories that were never shared with the world. And so on the left you can see the Newtonian telescope, and then on the right and the top is a picture of Newton pondering in his younger age, and then in the bottom is just another picture of Newton with his equations for theorems.
How exactly does Isaac Newton relate to our class? Well, his laws and ideas are what help us to understand how the universe works. Without this law of gravity, we wouldn't be able to discuss why we don't fly out of orbit in class, or why Earth is where it is in our solar system. As History.com put it, His work remains the bedrock on which modern physics was built, and without that bedrock, we wouldn't be able to build mountains on top. Meaning, without his fundamentals of physics, we wouldn't be able to do much of the science we do today. Another example would be about how his laws of motion. We wouldn't have been able to understand the need for seatbelt, which saves many lives daily. Although that does not relate to science class greatly, it explains the many contributions his work made to our world today. Even though he was great at many topics like science, astronomy, and more, he had a special interest in alchemy. Alchemy is like a type of chemistry based on witchcraft. One of his goals was to find the philosopher's stone, which could turn ordinary metals like iron into precious metals like gold. Newton also analyzed the Bible once in order to find hidden messages to see how the universe works. His mother also put his education on pause after she convinced him to become a farmer at 15. That instantly a failed attempt, and he went back to school. The picture in the upper left corner is a representation of alchemy. The picture on the right is another representation of alchemy, which is the symbol for the philosopher's stone. In the lower left corner is the Bible, in which Sir Isaac Newton used to study, as said before.
Overall, Newton had an amazing mind. He helped us to understand the basics of our universe today, which we would not be imaginable without him. Thankfully, he survived as a tiny premature baby to grow up to be one of the most widely recognized and influential scientists of all time.